Hello and welcome to our review of A.06b, writing linear equations. Now, I have actually y equals mx plus b slope-intercept form written up there because that's what we mean by to write a linear equation. Now, sometimes you're going to be given some information. You might actually be given both the slope and the y-intercept, or you might be given the slope and a point. Well, this is considered the most severe of the cases when you're just given 2 points. So what we need to do is use these 2 points to first find the slope. So to find the slope, we're going to kind of use that rise over run concept that we have. And what's going to happen is, if you notice, I have 2 ordered pairs, so I have 2 y values. So we're going to take one of the y values and subtract the other one. And you might be saying to yourself, those are some funny looking exponents. Well, they're not exponents, that's why. These are called subset numbers. And so what this means is this comes from the second ordered pair. It's the y value. So that would be 5. So you can think of this as y2. This over here is y1, which would make this x2 and x1. So the little number just denotes which ordered pair it comes from. It's not a big deal if you accidentally switch these around, like maybe you make this 2 and then these ones. That's okay, but you need to make sure the numbers you put on top are the y values and that they stay in order. If you start with this ordered pair, you better start with it here. So on the bottom, we're going to do the x values, x2 minus x1. Now, all you got to do at this point is just plug numbers in. So the second y value, that's the first one. The second one is 5 minus, and my students love to ask this question, is it always subtraction? Yeah, it is. So you don't actually have to change anything. If this was a negative, though, it'll probably change it to a positive. We'll see that in the next example. So we have 5 minus 2, right there. And then on the bottom, x2, right there, so 4. And then x1 is 2. And then we just have to clean it up. 3 minus 2, I jumped the gun. 5 minus 2 is 3, and 4 minus 2 is 2. So the slope is 3/2. We're not done. We did not write the equation. But what we can do now is kind of start to piece it together. So instead of writing m again, because, well, I already had that written down, I'm going to replace it with what it is. It's 3/2 x plus b. We still don't know the y-intercept. These are not the y-intercept. These are just points on the line that they happen to give us in the problem. So what we need to do is pick one of these ordered pairs and substitute it in. The reason we're going to do that, I'm going to pick 4 or 5 here, or 4 and 5. The reason we do that, if you notice, once we replace x and y with points actually on the line, all we're left with is b. So when we solve for b, we get the y-intercept. So here we go. 3/2 of 4. Ooh, been a while since I've had to do some fractional math. That would be 6. And to finish this off, we would subtract 6 from both sides, and that'll give us -1. So now that we have the 2 pieces, we can go ahead and write the equation of the line, which is y equals 3/2 x minus 1. There's our official answer. Let's go ahead and take a look at an SOL problem. Oh boy, it runs off the paper. Which equation represents the line that passes through the points -4, 4, and 8, -2? And then they gave us a couple multiple choice options. We don't really need to worry about those yet. Let's go ahead and work over here. So they've given us the 2 ordered pairs that happen to be on the line. This is actually good. They didn't give us the slope or the y-intercept, but we can figure both those out. So one thing I just want you to remember, we're going to be trying to figure out, let me slide this down a little bit, y equals mx plus b. And we're going to start off with the slope, and we're going to label the points real quick. So this is x1 and y1. Again, xy value, and it's the first point that showed up. So this will be x2 and y2. All right, here we go. So the slope formula is y2 minus y1, all divided by x2 minus x1. Cool. So all I have to do at this point is just replace things. So -2. And like I said earlier, this is a minus sign there already. So I'm just going to go ahead and put it in there so I don't forget. And y1 is 4. Then on the bottom, x2 is 8. And x1 is -4. And now you see why I made sure that I wrote the minus sign beforehand, because I know a lot of students make the mistake of, well, the minus is already there, so I don't have to break it down. And that It's kind of hard to argue with that because visually, I get it, I understand. But there was already a minus sign there, and you're bringing another negative. And if you remember what happens with that, two negatives in math makes a positive. So on the top, we can actually just clean it up already. It's negative 2 minus 4, so that's going to be negative 6. Alright, and on the bottom, that's going to give us, oops, sliding off the paper here, my apologies. That's going to give us 12, so when we clean this up, we end up with negative 1/2. So our slope is negative 1/2. That actually means we can eliminate A and B, because their slopes were negative 2. Alright, so now we know our y-intercept is either positive 2 or negative 2. Let's go figure it out. So, I'm going to start off y equals, I'm not going to write m because I know it now, it's negative 1/2. What I'm going to do to find b is I'm just going to pick an ordered pair, either one, and plug it in. I'll pick the smaller one this time, so negative 4 and 4. So 4 equals negative 1/2 times negative 4 plus b. A negative times a negative is positive, and half of 4 is 2. And when I subtract 2 from both sides, I end up with 2 equals b. So my equation was y equals negative 1/2 x plus 2, which the answer was C. Thanks for watching.